Before living in Vero Beach, Mike lived in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. This was back in 2012, and there he was charged with aggravated stalking after he threatened to kill an ex-girlfriend. So for this crime, Mike pleaded no contest and was only given 5 years probation. If he left the Vero Beach area without getting permission from his probation officer, he could be placed under arrest. So when detectives learn all this, they decide to call this probation office because Mike is nowhere to be found. And it seems he's gotten the heck out of Vero Beach by this point. And the probation officer's like, no, he definitely didn't get permission from me to leave. So now police have cause to arrest Mike the second they find him. Now, Lena and Bill are totally shocked by this news that Mike has this criminal record. According to them, they had no idea that Mike was at all possessive or abusive in any way, definitely not towards their daughter. But according to some of Diana's friends, Mike kind of did some of the same things in his relationship with her. The most notable was on April 30th, 2014. Early that morning, a little before 1 a.m., Mike Jones's neighbor made a call to 911. I think I have a domestic disturbance call for you. My next door neighbor and his girlfriend have been screaming at each other for an hour. Then he says, it sounds like he's trying to dominate the crap out of her. Now, the police show up at the house, and when they knock on the door, Mike answers. At first, he's like, I was asleep. And then they're like, well, the neighbor didn't make it up. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, me and Diana, we were just having rough. So they asked to speak with her. She comes to the door in her pajamas and police say, while she looks frustrated with the situation, she doesn't appear to have any marks on her. Right before the officers are about to leave, Diana says, wait, please don't go. I want to get my things and I don't want to do it alone. So one of the officers says she practically begs them to stay with her and let her get out of the house safely, which they definitely find alarming.
Yeah, DV 101.
But they help her out. Once again, outside of the house, they ask her, are you sure you're okay, that nothing has happened? They examine her again for cuts and bruises, and she's like, I'm fine, I just want to go home. So they let her leave, but Diana doesn't go home. She calls her friend Chelsea, who works at a bar nearby. Now, Chelsea says Diana was hysterically crying on this phone call, and she told Chelsea she was coming to work to see her. She gets there a few minutes later. Chelsea says she's inconsolable, she's hyperventilating from crying, plus she's standing at this bar in her pajamas. And Chelsea sees this as a big red flag because Diana would never be out in public in her pajamas unless this was an emergency of some sort. Chelsea rushes her into the bathroom, and that's when Diana opens up to her friend about what actually happened earlier. She says that they got into an argument, Mike pushed her down, he got on top of her, he started choking her while saying over and over, I'll effing you. And Chelsea can see red marks all over Diana's neck. Chelsea's like, look, you have to go back to the police and file a complaint. You can't let this slide. But Diana's like, no,